Okay, so let's go with little bit basic and then we will go to the hands-on directly. We will not go into just theoretical part. Um, so it's more like a workshop where you will do and then we will check together. So I will just quickly pass through it because more than theory, workshop is important. So just follow along. So today we will discuss a little bit about lightning component, difference between Aura and LWC, and why we go with LWC instead of Aura, and then coexistence of both of them together. So we will not go that much theory, just a little brief about it. So we all know that it is a new programming model to create the lightning components, and basically we can say it as it is built using HTML and modern JavaScript, and we use it for better performance and modern web standards and easy to use, and it is compatible with Aura. So basically why LWC came in the picture, because in 2014 the web stack looked like this. So they were web standards and then they were framework. So what used to happen, web standard were not having like lot of frameworks which we needed, like template and modules. These things were not there. So because of that the Aura framework came into picture so that we can use it. But there were a lot of problems with it, that it didn't, like for example we had to create our own framework or a framework. It had its own language, it was difficult to learn, hard to find a workforce. So Aura is like completely different language which you need to learn. But because WebStack itself didn't offer template and modules and lot more things which we needed, that's why we had to go with the Aura framework. And if you would have done Aura, you would have seen there is helper, then there is controller. There's a lot of things which are a little confusing about Aura, which takes time to learn. So then we started moving. So WebStack evolved during the time, and then template, Shadow DOM, ECMAScript 7, all these came here only. And because of that, we were able to use LWC. And LWC is like very similar to your basic way of HTML, JavaScript, because we are using the web standards itself. So it made it very similar to the JavaScript actually, which we are using. So you can see that it use all the web standards, and then basic lightning components, base lightning components, and then the lightning data service. So basically we can understand that it uses the web standards. And this is again the transformation which happened. So you just need to remember that initially everything was not there in framework. Because of that we had to use Aura, but later on web standards evolved, and because of that we were able to use LWC, and which is giving us better performance. And these are some of the benefits of LWC. It's easier to learn. You are finding difficulty because it's new and not lot of material is there in the Google, but it's much easier to Aura if you practice a little. Then regarding Aura programming model and Lightning Web Component model, it uses ECMAScript 5. This uses ECMAScript 7. So now this is important regarding nested composition. So see, sometimes in interview this comes with in Aura component, you can use Lightning Web Component. Inside Aura, you can use Lightning Web Component and Aura component. But inside Lightning Web Component, you can just use Lightning Web Component only. So this nested composition sometimes comes in interview. So just remember that. So again, there is a Lightning app page. So inside that there can be Aura and LWC, but Aura can have LWC and Aura, but LWC can have only LWC. And whenever we have to choose LWC because it is latest fast performance. And I think you would have already installed the developer tools. So I will not go into that much detail, but you have to install the Salesforce DX CLI. You have to install Visual Studio Code, the extension pack, and then you have to connect with the org. So that's it. That's all you have to do. Okay. So let me start with creating a project and connecting with the org, like a basic step. So Gyan, do you want to share the screen and try to do that?
Sure.
Yeah. Just before that, do you think I should tell Scratch org, non-Scratch org before that, so that they are clear that which project we are trying and how we are linking?
So like what I felt is
Hmm.
what till now what we have gone through differences like between Lightning Aura and web components. So let let get them some idea like what exactly the difference, and then you can ask some questions what I feel
Actually,
instead of we are
that will
rushing.
be like very theoretical, which is not needed according to me, so that we have more times of hands-on. That's why I'm saying that, okay, this is Lightning Web Component, a little bit base, and then we will, once we do hands-on, they will get it what exactly we are showing, which will be much better.
Okay, gotcha.
Just give me,
So
okay, give me
I guess
1 minute.
as you have said everyone to do go ahead and do the setup. Few people I guess they posted on the group and they are done with the setup.
Okay, so let me just tell one more point, and then you can start sharing, and then we will do something. Okay,
So,
so just a second. So we got some basic idea about Lightning Web Component, theoretically, some basic idea. That much is enough for theory. What is Lightning Component, how it is different from Aura, why it came into picture. Those things are enough. So now this thing is very confusing for people who are starting. Is Scratch org versus non-Scratch org, and it comes in interview as well. So here, can I ask someone that what is non-Scratch org? Can someone tell me that?
Developer orgs like our QA, UAT orgs.
Correct. So these are Scratch orgs. So if we just know a little bit, like the main point which we have to understand is, whenever we will create just now, whenever we are creating connecting with non-Scratch org, that is connecting with the developer org, like she said, we have to click on create project with manifest. So there is create project and create project with manifest. So we have to choose that, and then we will be selecting the standard project. We will be choosing whatever project we have, project name, and that's how we will be creating. Manifest means a package.xml file will get created. Okay, so that's all is a non-Scratch org, that we are connecting with a developer org or production org. Okay, now, for example, if we are saying login.salesforce.com, so if we are connecting to it, so what we are doing, we are connecting to a non-Scratch org. That is simple, right? Now comes the Scratch org. So what is Scratch org? Can someone tell me?
Scratch
Yes,
org
Shruti.
is a temporary. Can I go ahead?
Sure, sure.
Thank you. So Scratch org is a temporary org which with minimum of 7 to 30 days. It will expire automatically after 30 days or whatever, how many ever days we specify. Minimum is 7 days. And Scratch orgs are we create Scratch orgs if multiple users are working on single developer org. We create Scratch org so that we can independently work in Scratch org and deploy to the dev org.
Okay, so yeah, what you said is correct. That Scratch org are temporary orgs, and we use it for various purposes. Like for example, okay, so we use for various purposes. Like for example, we want a disposable org, and we just want to put particular component and check how it is working. For some time we want to get a review. So like that, we use the Scratch org. Now you said one more point, which we can double check, but I think it is 1 to 30 days, and 7 is default. So
Okay.
if we put 1 day, we can check just now. But if you put
Okay.
1, so I think it will be deleted in 1 day as well, according to what my understanding is. So according to what theory I have seen, they give option to us from 1 to 30 days. We can double check. So that's how our non-scratch Scratch org works.
Okay.
So
One question. I always have this question I wanted to ask you. Only when we are talking about Lightning Web Components, the Scratch org topic comes. Why Aura components we cannot do it in Scratch org? We can still do, right?
Yeah, you can
Right?
do.
We can do, right? We can create
Yeah.
Scratch org and do Aura also, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Anything we can do. Okay, but
Yes.
only in this topic, Lightning Components, Scratch org, it's coming, this topic. That's the reason I asked. Okay.
Yeah.
okay. So
See,
See,
now,
Aura can be developed using the developer console also. For LWC, the Salesforce CLI and SFDX, they gain popularity. So like Scratchbox can only be created using the Salesforce CLI and SFDX. So that's why like the name comes like it's anonymous. But Aura components can work very well with Scratchbox.
yeah, that is a very good point which you mentioned, and I missed it. That with LWC, we have to have the editor, Visual Studio or any other editor, and Visual Studio is the popular one. But with Aura, we can directly do the coding in the developer console. But with LWC, we don't have that privilege. We have to connect with the Visual Studio editor or some other editor, and then only we can do the coding. So let's just quickly create a project with Scratch and non-Scratch org so that we are done with that and we can move to the next topic. So Gyan, do you want to start sharing and show the Scratch org?
Sure. Can you
And
click?
then, and then who wants to, you can show non-Scratch org, then who wants to show the Scratch org? Someone wants to volunteer after?
Yeah, I can show the Scratch org.
You show the Scratch org once Gyan is done with the non-Scratch org.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just a minute.
Start with creating a new project.
Yeah. So with manifest will be.
Yes, Gyan. So we are using create project with manifest for non-Scratch orgs. Is it working slow or how is it?
What did you say, Smriti?
Is it working slow because it is not doing anything?
Yeah. Let me open a new one.
Can you stop sharing? I will. I think that I can show. I'll show that.
Sorry. I stopped sharing. You can go ahead.
Okay. Can you guys put on mute? Okay. So let me go back. I did create project with manifest. Then I'm using the template. So standard only we have to use. You can try MT and analytics, but I never tried. So you can go ahead and check that. But mostly we choose standard. Then put the project name. LWC workshop. Maybe. So what will happen? It will ask the location where you want the project to be. So right now I'm just adding to the desktop. So I just put create project. So now it will be creating on the desktop. So you will see a new project will be creating. So now it will be giving us the automatic structure for the project and everything will be there in the Force app, your LWC. So someone asked me other day that can we have even Aura and classes, something like that. So everything you can have. You can use Visual Studio Editor for the complete project. Because for LWC, it is mandatory to use editor. That's why we focus on LWC. Now, if I want to create a Lightning Web Component, I can just simply go create Lightning Web Component and then put some name like hello world, and like that we can create. So like that, a component is getting created. We will go in that detail, but before that, so see, it shows that it is getting created. So there are two ways to do that. One is by clicking here, and another is by putting the commands in the terminal, Obviously, remembering the commands in the terminal might get harder. So we directly go here, but you can always create from the terminal. So before going there, let's firstly connect to the org. So right now we want to connect to a developer org. Like we are talking about the non-scratch orgs. So what will we do? We will be simply doing Control-Shift-P, and we say authorize an org. And then we say whatever we want: project default, production, sandbox, custom. So I want project default, which will be connecting to login.salesforce.com. So I will click here, and here I will be putting any name, like to which org it is connecting, any name we have to give. So I say dev org. So it will just again try to connect to that org. So it takes some time to connect, but what will happen, a login, like a separate browser will open, and it will ask us to log in, and once we log in, it will let us authenticate, and that's how we will be connecting to the scratch org, non-scratch org. So see, automatically this opened, right? And then it asked us to log in. So I am logged in. And now if I go back, so see, authorize an org successfully ran. So it let us authorize. Even if you have put this command also in terminal, it would have done the same thing. But obviously you have to remember the command. So you can always do using this one, but this is also an option to do. Now that you are connected to non-scratch org, here you have created a component. Now if you have to deploy it, what you have to do? You have to do deploy source to org, which we will see in a while. So you will be clicking deploy source to org, and it will get connected. That's it. So here, if you want to deploy, you will do deploy source to org. If you want to retrieve, then you will do retrieve source to org. And that's how it will get connected to whatever you want to retrieve or deploy. So that's how your non-scratch org works. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, clear. But
Yes, Smriti.
if we create a project connecting to develop production or sandbox without using the manifest, then I think if you right click on this and if you try to deploy, that option will not come, or will it still come? Deploy to org, deploy from org, those options.
We can check. Just let's say.
No, it comes for both.
Yeah. Smriti, I tried that earlier. I did without manifest only for the first time. So it worked. I mean that
Deploy to
from
org,
the
deploy from.
it came. We can test now also.
Actually, we checked in I checked in some documentation when I was starting to read. So they said specifically that for non-scratch orgs, do project with manifest. So from that, I started following it. I think maybe if it is working for both, then I think we can do that also. So now, Aarti, do you want to go and show the scratch org?
So with manifest, it will create one file, right? XML file, package file.
Yeah.
When we select create project with
this file.
Yes,
this file is getting created.
Exactly.
Yeah, without manifest, this will not get created.
Exactly.
Correct. So now, Aarti, maybe they are following it's a best practice, and then without it also it gets created.
Yeah, I'm going ahead.
Yeah, I'm just stopping the sharing.
Okay, first we need to go to setup in the production and click dev, go to dev hub. Before creating a scratch org, we need to do this. And then enable it. Once you enable, you cannot disable it. I've already enabled it previously, so it's already enabled. Okay. And now go to Visual Studio Code, and then.
So basically, the org where you have enabled your dev hub option, that org can also be called as dev hub or dev org.
Create a default Scratch org. Smriti, tell me when I'm going wrong.
So one second, just do full screen once. Okay, firstly, what
Create a
she did,
project.
just a second, what she did is enable DevHub. So you can directly go log in and do enable DevHub, or from here also you can do. So if you do, I think authorize a DevHub. So from here also you can directly go and authorize to the DevHub. Just to authorize a DevHub here, SFDX. Yeah, so if you do authorize a DevHub, again, it will be linking to that particular org to which you want to log in. Like wherever she wants to log in, she will be able to put her credentials. She logins, and whatever she logins to the whichever production org, from there she can enable it. She can directly go also and then do it, but this is the better way to do, and she can just go and then enable it,
Yeah.
which you have already shown. Now
Yeah,
go
got
back and
Will I
then
create a project or directly Scratch org?
We have to go it and do it, like enable that DevHub option, and then we need to authorize in order to create Scratch org.
Okay.
That is like a first option, enable the DevHub. Second option is authorize from VS Code. And then once it is authorized, then we can go ahead and create the Scratch org for that DevHub.
Yeah. Create a default Scratch org. What happened?
that's it. You choose this.
Oh, okay. And
Put
then,
any name.
Here, if you don't select any, it will default. You can
See, 1 second. You saw, right? 1 to 30 days came.
yeah, 1 to 30 days came. You are right. Yes.
7 was default, right?
Yes.
Yes. What happened? Is it creating or not?
See, on the bottom left, guys, you see first Scratch org is written. So you can, from there you can see that it got connected or not. If it didn't, click on there.
Yes, it is connected. That's why it is showing over there.
So it is connected to this one, test something. So it got connected.
Scratch org. Yeah, it got
And if
connected.
you also want to open the Scratch, or you can just click on the left kind of a box there. It will open. Yeah, there. It will open the Scratch org.
Okay.
You can see the command that is running. on the right side.
Yeah. All the Scratch orgs will have this inspiration word, right? I just saw. Okay, this is the Scratch org. Now I have to create a so whatever, once it is connected to Scratch org, whatever project I create, it goes into Scratch org, right?
Correct. Now, do you want to do push? So basically, guys, once we were checking for non-Scratch org, there is deploy and retrieve. When we are talking about Scratch org, there is push and pull. So if she does right click here, push and pull should come.
Push source to default Scratch org. So this hello world, this will go to Scratch org?
Yes, whatever org you are getting connected to, it will go there. So right now you are getting connected to the Scratch org, right? So it will push to there. So if you are connected to Scratch org, it shows push and pull. If you are connected to non-Scratch org, it shows deploy and retrieve. So can I? So yeah, we are good so far. So can you stop sharing?
Yeah.
So I think you guys are clear till here, right?
Yes.
Okay. One more way of doing is playground and LWC playground. So you can simply go and code here till you are not done setup. Shruti, till you are not done setup, you can always do coding here.
Are you sharing screen, Smriti?
Shruti is there, right?
Yeah, I'm there, Smriti.
So
Are you here?
So are you sharing the screen?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we can't see your screen, Shruti.
Hmm. So I was saying the second way is that you can always use the playground and do the coding here till Visual Studio has some kind of problem. So you can do some basic coding and check how things are running. You can run it, but initially they had the save feature which we don't have anymore, so it won't get saved. So you will just run your code and that's it. So this is a playground where you can just test it. So instead instead of deploying and retrieving, you can simply do it here. So now we are clear, right? Okay, there is non-scratch org, there is scratch org, then we can put in playground. Okay,
Yeah.
then
One question. So there you right clicked and you selected deploy to org in with manifest
mhm.
developer org. Here there is no right click and deploy that. You only have to go to Control Shift P and then go push to the scratch org. We have to do that, right?
Yeah, correct. For scratch org, there is push and pull. Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so coming back, this is playground. You can always write code and you can preview here. So here you can see the live compilation, like whatever changes you are making, immediately you are able to see here, or otherwise you can remove the live compilation and it won't show you immediately. After you run it, only then it will show. So you can play around here and you can see how it works. So that is another way. Now there's one more way which people miss and which is like very helpful while creating, which I want to know that who wants to show, who wants to volunteer to show. There is something called local development. So does anyone have idea on how to do local development? Lightning Web Component local development. What is the benefit of it? Here you have to do deploy and retrieve and you have to sit for 2-3 minutes, right, every time. In with the local development, it is there itself, just to Control S, and then you are able to see exactly your component. You don't have to worry about just connecting to org and deploying and retrieving or pushing or pulling every time. So it saves a lot of your time, though it is not connected to the database. So you can just take help while you are doing the UI changes, but it is very helpful. So has anyone set up the local development? Okay. So Gyan, do you want to show? You would have set it up, right?
Yeah, but let me share the screen and then let's try.
Just try once.
Basically,
Yeah.
mhm. So this is the
Kushagra, is your working?
Yeah, I'm like, I just opened VS Code, so the extension is loading. I think, yeah, it's working.
Okay, then you share the screen.
Okay.
So it is just a server which runs on our local machine. So we will be installing it through VS Code. So
Yeah,
if
so you need to follow those commands, and after that, this option automatically will appear, I guess. Am I right, Smriti?
Yeah, you can do that. 1 second, I will tell you. Just give me 1 second. So you have done first of all, have you done the installation?
Yeah.
So
It's
just show that.
configured.
Yeah. So in the terminal, just show that you have to do SFDX plugins. If you do that, then you will be able to see the plugins which we are needing. Yeah.
Smriti, these plugins are different. I mean, initially we will be adding the extensions, right? SFDX extensions and all. But this is especially for the local development server, right? These plugins.
Yes. Give me 1 second because there might be some confusion. Just a second. How to store? Just wait a second, Kushagra. I will just share first
Yeah,
screen
okay.
for a minute. So just so that there is no confusion. So for installing local development server, so you simply go and copy paste this line. Okay. Once you do that, it will do some installation. It will take like 5-10 minutes, whatever. Then you can see that it is updated. And he did plugins, right? By this, he can see if plugins are installed properly. So something like this came, right? It means it is installed properly. Now, you have to just simply start the server. To start the server, again, you can put in the terminal, like you can put this code in the terminal, or you can go to Visual Studio, and there you can do SFDX start local development server. Once you start, something like this will open. And on that, you can choose the component which you want to open. So now, Kushagra, do you want to go ahead and show this?
Yeah, okay. So I copied that command, the Lightning LWC start.
Yeah, it should start. It sometimes takes time, or you can even open from there to Control Shift P. Yeah, I think. And do start local development SFDX.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it might be sometimes taking time, but otherwise it will. You just click here. I mean, it automatically opens once it starts. It's just
Yeah,
taking.
it takes a second.
Yeah.
So
The
Smriti,
Chrome
this
is not
Just
visible,
one
right?
second. Click on show. No. Yeah. And now see, guys, you can choose any component. It's here. Just open it. Now you want to make any change. For example, go to this component and make any change, like just remove
Okay.
remembering or something.
This is the movie tile. So let's like change the this. So I changed this movie name.
Okay.
Kushagra, we are just seeing the tile, the local development server page.
So okay, so should I wait. Now is it fine?
Yes.
Is the view?
Yeah.
So I changed this. Instead of binding from the JS, I have manually typed movie name here, and it
And
automatically refreshes.
Can you change now and can you show how it is
Okay, all right.
reacting like as soon as
Movie
you
2,
change here,
something
it's
like
changing it over there, right? Once you
that.
do
I changed
Control
it
S,
here. Yeah, it automatically gets refreshed and movie 2.
so now see the speed. Okay, so that is the reason you should have the local development server, because most of the time the retrieve and deploy takes time, because of which your development gets slower, right? So this is very helpful, but it doesn't connect to the database Salesforce. So because of that, you can just do the modification in the UI part, and once you are good with
Yeah.
that, then you can deploy and make changes there.
Yeah.
Correct. Got it.
So is this part clear to everyone?
Yes.
It shows the changes in real time.
Correct. So now, Vinay, can you tell me the different ways we have discussed in which we can run the code of Visual Studio Code, run the code in LWC, or see the UI in the LWC?
See the UI.
Again, my question is not that clear actually. I think you understood, right? Can you explain the question?
Shruti, I'm not getting it.
yeah, what are the ways we can view the UI in the Lightning component, like deploying to the org or to the like just now we have seen like a server.
So like you're talking about this scratch org, this push and pull thing, and by creating non-scratch org.
Yeah, so scratch org, non-scratch org, then we have seen that through Playground also we can see, and then we can do local development server. So these are the 4 ways we have seen. So is it clear to everyone? Can we move further?
Yes, Smriti.
Okay, cool. Okay, so just a basic thing regarding the structure. Regarding structure, we have to understand one thing. Actually, I will ask you, when you create Lightning Web Component, what all is mandatory? What all files are mandatory? Can someone tell me?
Yes,
Aura.
Aura.
Smriti, here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, js.js file .css.html.
Okay, so you said JS, CSS. So automatically CSS get created?
No, actually HTML, JS, and XML.
XML, yeah, correct.
Correct.
CSS, if we need, then we create it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
guys, what you need to remember, these like in LWC, interviewers are not asking very depth questions. These questions also only they are asking because uh, still not much people have no knowledge about sorry, not much people have knowledge about LWC. So just keep these concepts ready. So these are the files: HTML, JavaScript, configuration file, and then CSS. So
Also,
this
Smriti,
is
adding on to your point, the HTML file is not mandatory. So for a component to get rendered, only the JS and XML file will do also. Like even if you delete the HTML file, it will get rendered. Like some components only need the functionality, they don't need UI. Like the PubSub module, it has only the JS and the XML file, it does not have the HTML. So the mandatory are only those two.
okay.
Yeah.
So basically we can also, okay, thank you. So we can have HTML, JS, CSS, but XML, SVG, CSS, and like Kushagra told us now, that HTML is not mandatory, CSS is not, and then SVG is not mandatory. So this is the folder structure which you can see. Now let's go to there. Just a second. It got closed.
We are not able to see the screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot. Yeah. So just a second, guys. Okay. So here, what happened? So I think it got stuck. Yeah, so we have seen that automatically HTML, JS and meta XML file gets created. And once we go to HTML, we can see that it is having template. Whole HTML will be going inside it. So you can go to W3 School, and if you copy paste the code, inside the template, we can completely copy paste the code. Instead of HTML, you can just put all the, like whatever is inside the body, right? You can put inside the template and it will work as it is. So then there is JS. So basically once you go to the JS, you will be seeing that it will be showing that import lightning element from LWC. So again what is happening is that it is coming, lightning element is coming from the LWC module. So by default it will be showing like this only. And if you want to go in more details, then there is like theoretical part regarding the 4 pillars of component, lightning web component, how import and export is coming. So we don't need to discuss this in that much detail because it's theoretical part, but you can always go there, and I have created a chapter of it, and go through it. I will show that in later section. So again it is getting created. All your logic building will be here, and then comes your meta XML file. So for example, you want to show that in the app homepage. So basically you will put is exposed true, and then just a second. Yeah, and then for example, you want to see in the Lightning app page, home page. So you will be putting the target, and then you can say that okay, you want to see in the app page, home page. Again, you can see that you want to show in community. So you can put as targets. And then if you want to show in a particular record page, then you will have to put the target configs. And then you have to say that okay, I want to show only on account or only on opportunity. So it won't show in contact. So basically, for example, if you don't put this, it will show in all record pages. But if you specially put target configs, it will be showing on those particular record pages only, that particular component. And then simply once you go to the app builder, basically, just a second. then you just need to do the edit page, and then you have to drag and drop the component and then save it, like you do for the Aura. Simply you drag and drop it, and then you will be able to see that particular component in the record page. So like that, the whole meta XML file works. So is the structure clear to everyone?
Yes, yes. Smriti.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
cool. So now we will do hands-on. So
One question, Smriti. Priya
yeah.
here.
Mhm.
Once you go to that VS Code, na?
Yeah, just going there. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I came here, see, 4 pillars of web component. Just go through it once, because I did a lot of research. Not much information was there about it. HTML imports, HTML template, custom element, shadow DOM. So these are very theoretical topics which you don't need to go in that much depth. So just go through the theory about it. Like, what are these? So you will understand. Like, if you have the curiosity, right? Why import is written? Why export is written? Why export default is written? So in interview, I don't think they will be even asking that, but there is something called web components. From web components LWC, they have taken the LWC basically. So because of that, you will be understanding that why these things are coming. So that will make you more interest. It will make your learning more interesting. Why from where these are coming. So you can go ahead and read this
One
chapter.
point I would like to add here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like the first question, you can just, yeah. The basic first question, like in the interview, like it will be like, what's the difference between Aura and then LWC, right? In the LWC, you can say this. Go back to your blog, Smriti. So basically, the 4 pillars of web components. So that web components are built on browser, and on top of that web components, LWC is built. Standard web components, these are called 4 standard web components for each browser. So on top of this, Lightning Web Component, what we do is the framework is built on top of this. So that is the reason most of the work, what we do in LWC, that is taken care by the browser itself. So that is the advantage. So we have very less things to do at the server side, coming to like Aura or like the classic Visual Force page. In Classic, we had like 2 JavaScript controllers, which is one controller JavaScript
Not
and one
in
is
classic, Yan, Aura.
my bad, in Aura. So there, those 2 are on the client sides. Then there was one Apex on the server side. But here we have only one controller on client side. So most of the things is taken care by the browser itself. So that is the main advantage you can tell when coming to Lightning Web Components. Or we can call it as a lightweight programming model. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Priya, what you were saying?
Yeah, the question is very silly, Smriti, but still, can you go to that VS Code once? There in the meta XML file, you were showing, right? We give the record pages like the app page, home page, we specify that. So for the object, we are taking the API names here, but what names are we taking for the record page and home page? Like how are we?
I
We are,
didn't get your question actually.
can you go to the page where it was there, like the record page, home page?
Just 1 second. 1 second, is this one? Yeah.
Yeah, so there na, a lightning record page you have written, right? So it's just like record page, app page, and home page, just the names you are giving, right? There is no API or nothing, anything particular that you are giving from the org, like we are doing for like warehouse __ C. So we are giving the API name of the object, right? When we are passing it in the target config. So here in target, we are just giving app page, record page, and home page. That's it, right?
So basically, if people are aware of Aura, there's something called interface. So when we go to the Aura, what happens is that in the starting, just so that people are clear, just give me 1 minute to so that this is clear. So see, we can show, for example, I say Aura test something, and I want to see show in record page tab maybe. Okay, and then submit. So we say implements, and then this is for Aura, guys. Don't get confused. So we get implements, and then we say, okay, available for all pages, available for record home. So because of that, it was this particular Aura component will be available for record page. Same way, in the meta XML file, we are putting here. Let me go back to that. We are putting here targets, record page, home page, app page. This do the same thing. If we the way it is doing in Aura, the way of writing is different, but it is the same. Now is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, you can go and check that how we can put for community. Like here we simply put available for community, right? So
Yeah.
now there you have to see that how you can put for community. So again, you have to put for community. What point I said, if you want for all record pages, then you simply say target record page. If you want for particular record, like for example, you want that it should not come in contacts, only on for accounts. So what you will do target configs and only put account and no other object you will put. So it will just show in account and no other object. But if you just put lightning record page, it will be available for all record pages.
Smriti, I have one follow-up question for that. So you just said, if we only wanted to show in like accounts record page, it won't show up until we place the component on the page, right?
Yeah, of course. Okay, I think I got what is your confusion.
Yeah.
So, obviously you have to drag and drop the component, but you will not be able to drag and drop the component if, for example, here it is an account, right? If you are putting account and not putting contact, so you will not be able to have the component to drag and drop. So you will not be able to show it in the contact. You will be just able to show in the account.
Okay.
Always drag and drop the component. Yeah, Gyan, go ahead.
We are making it visible on the account record page so that we can drag and drop, right? So this component is now visible on the account record page to drag and drop to use it. Correct, Smriti?
Yeah. Who asked it? I'm not sure. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's Priyanka. Yeah, I asked that
Oh,
question.
sorry. Yeah.
No, the only reason I got confused was like because if we want it on a record page, we are giving target as record page, and again we are mentioning the object. So what my question, like my confusion was, if we are already giving on a record page, it should be available for all the record pages, right? Like
Yes. If you don't put this target config, it will be available for our record page. If you put the target config, so it will be available for that particular object itself only.
Okay.
Cool. So guys, let's start with some coding. So today we will just do simple snippets so that we can get hands on, and let's see how it goes from here. Your name. Hi, Jan, for example. Good morning. Just create this simple greeting message. You can do it in your playground. If you want, you can put in your org. I'm giving you like 5 minutes to do it. So just try to do it. Let's see who do it first. Let's see that. Is the question clear to everyone?
Done, Smriti.
Awesome. Do you want to share?
Yeah. I did nothing. I just created a lightning web component. And in the HTML, I have written a div. In that, I have written hello Aarti, good morning.
Okay.
Is it not that?
No, it's my mistake actually. It's my mistake. I wanted data binding, but I didn't clarify it.
But we have to explain them, Smriti.
How should I display this on browser? Okay, I have to go to the component. I have to add, because this component is added, I have to make it true, and then I can go to my Scratch
You can
or
use the
We have
local
to push
development server if you want. The local development server.
okay. Okay, I did not understand local level.
Google,
How do I go there? Local level, just
Google it.
Google.
Yeah, Google it. You'll get the commands.
Okay.
So guys, it will take her time to do the installation, right? Installing the
Yeah,
plugins.
it will take some time.
So do it later in your time. Right now,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
can someone else share the screen who has made on Shruti? Do you want to share?
Actually, I'm creating a playground, Smriti. It's
Okay.
taking a little time.
Okay.
I've done it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So like in the JS, you create a variable called, like, I use the variable name and give it any value and bind it in the HTML using the expression. So like anything you write between the curly braces and insert in your HTML, it automatically the rendering in the rendering process, it considers it as in JS expression. So the name variable will be binded to the template. And so yeah, let me just show you the local development server. So yeah, so whatever name I give in the JS, it will display that name here.
Now go back, Kushagra,
To the code.
to the code.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, do you have? So what he is doing is data binding. So he's binding the data. So can you explain a little bit here, Gyan? Sorry, Kushagra.
So okay, this is one-way data binding, wherein we send our data from the JS to our HTML. What shall I explain? What is data binding?
So what is name? Like, what is the name?
The name, it's
Yeah.
a variable. Name
Yeah.
is a global variable for our JS class, which holds a value KB.
Correct.
Or that
And if I want to access it in a HTML, then we use the JS expressions curly braces.
Yes. Correct.
Whatever we write inside curly braces, it automatically tries to find it in the JS.
And what is Lightning Cart?
Lightning Cart, okay. So the Salesforce has the Lightning design system. You can use HTML, CSS, normal tags here, but Salesforce recommends you to use the Lightning design system tags and everything. You can check out the component reference. Wait, I'll show you. So yeah, there's a Lightning Web Components component reference wherein you will find the basic code of a Lightning card. So this is a pre-built card component. Here it's the preview. So whatever you using these the tags and these attributes, whatever you want, you can display it in a Lightning card. So I noticed in this here, hi Smriti, good morning. She had the white background, so I thought, why not use a Lightning card? So I did that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome explanation. So guys, do you have any question here? Or otherwise we will move to the next component.
Can you open Lightning Design System?
Okay.
You scroll to the top.
Up, yeah.
So basically this is a library by Salesforce. So we can implement all the, you can see on the left side, we have the menu for the button groups. There are particular stylings which we can default. We can use directly this tag and we can use it in our components over there. Like Kushagra, he has used a tag. What is that? Lightning card. So that he has used from here. You can see here, Lightning card. There is a tag. You can give a name as well for that card, title, different attribute. So this is a library provided by Salesforce. It's called Lightning Design System. So from this, we can use stylings. We can apply it on our components. And if you go back to your component, JS.
Okay.
Yeah, and that name, when we are referring to any code like in LWC, when we come to JS, if there is a name, a variable, you can see here, the name is a variable. That's called, they call it as a property. In the LWC, we can property or a function. They'll give it as a property for a variable and if you define a function, a method, it will be a function. They call it as a function. So whenever you see JS property, that means the variable in the JS. Yeah. Thank you, Kushagra.
Thank you.
Gyan, I am not sure that regarding property you are saying correctly. Kushagra, let me know if I'm wrong or right. But I think
Okay.
property are API, wire, these are the properties.
No. So if you can open any of the like
Variable, just a second. This is variable, like first message, whatever name he put name, right? So what he said is a variable. Property is like API is a property, wire is a property.
No, Smriti, Gyan is absolutely right. Any JS variable is a property, and API, track, wire, these are decorators.
Okay, maybe I
Yeah,
got it.
these are annotations for those properties. Any variable or any function is a JavaScript property.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this like we call as variable, but what Salesforce does, when it is, if you can open any of the like code, like say by Salesforce, in an example, we can like see what they are in the playground. See if there is any JS file.
You can share the screen.
Okay, let me see. There we can see when they are referring, they'll refer it as
Properties.
exactly. I wanted to make sure like people understand what exactly that means. I'll open Lightning Web Component.
Guys, what Gyan means to say is like in JavaScript, the JavaScript file, if you notice, after the imports, you write a statement called export class, which inherits the LWC. So like any in programming, a class which has like the variables and functions as properties of the class, and a class is defined using those properties. So property is a generic term in programming, as to my understanding.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, because like when we go to see the code, they'll mention use it a property or a function.
Okay.
Did you find it?
No, I didn't find it. I was checking. Don't go to events. That's okay. We can check it later. It will be confusing for them.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Can you stop sharing? Yeah. So guys, can we move to the next question now? Is no one clear? Is everyone very clear? How is it?
I think like they are trying to set up and then trying to understand the VS Code editor.
Yes.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
So were you able to write hi, your name, good morning? If someone wants to share the screen and tell if they have any problem, or we can move on.
I have a
Vinay, Vishwanath, and RR. Who is RR?
Smriti, Gyan, I just pushed it. See, push source to default. So this hello greeting should also go, right?
Yeah, go ahead. So
This
guys,
hello,
everyone has to help on this. Yeah, go ahead.
the hello greeting component should also go to my Scratch org, right? But here I'm not able to see hello greeting. Hello world is there. Hello greeting, I'm not able to see.
You haven't set any target. Like I think you should set a target at least app page, record page, or home page.
Correct.
Also, did you mention true?
We did.
I mentioned two. Okay, this is not sufficient. Do we have to mention target also?
Yes.
I guess so.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Then I'll copy paste from there.
just try that. We will go further till then. Can you stop share?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now we are going to the next question, guys. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me check which will be
Okay,
easier.
let's see if everyone is following. Like till then, let's see if who are comfortable with this till here. Like if other than Aarti and Kushagra, because we don't get anything, we are not getting any inputs from any other people, right?
Yeah.
Smriti, this is Reena here. I have like done until like authorizing the Dev Hub. After that, I haven't done. So I was just following you guys so that I can do it later.
So guys, let's do one thing right now. Let's open Playground. Let's open
Okay.
Playground and do in the playground itself right now, because then you will be trying to deploying and it will be a difficult thing right now. So we will not be following for the code wise. So everyone opens Playground and let's do in the playground. Later, whatever we have discussed, just set up check non-scratch org local development server, so that tomorrow it will be easier for you. But for now, everyone set up on a local development, because every time you deploy it takes time, right? But for now, let's do it in the playground. So
Yes, Smriti. That would be a good idea.
yes, so let's go with the next question. So let me check which is easier. So Kushagra, your review, is this can be the second question?
Yeah. Okay. So the first question was based on one-way data binding. For this question, the concept at hand that we will discuss is two-way data binding. Yeah, this can be the.
Okay, so you will type any text in the greeting. So basically, this is input. You type good morning. So hello Smriti, and then this good morning should come. So that's how you have to do it. Take playground and in playground do it.
Niti,
Hmm.
so I would like to tell everyone that in the first example, what we did, we have sent some value from JS file to the front end, which is HTML, and we were showing that file.
Yeah.
The name, like KB example. So
Yeah.
he has that value in the JS, but he has shown in the HTML. However,
Yeah.
in this case, what we'll be doing, we'll be passing the value from HTML to the JS. So, and then again showing it in the HTML.
Let
So,
them
important-
wait, Gyan. Let them try it once, otherwise it will be hard for them to follow. So you have to just try to do it, and let's see who does the first, and then they will share the screen and tell us.
Jan, can you share the playground link?
Playground?
LWC Playground Google.
It's not coming from me. I did.
Whenever Gyan asks some link, right? I'm like, I say Google, I say Google this. I never share a link to him. So you're very lucky I'm sharing it to you.
Playground. Maybe what I think,
I added the target, and then now it got pushed.
oh,
Great.
congratulations.
Thank you.
That's an achievement for us. Yeah, but next time from tomorrow, just have the local development server ready.
Yeah. Were you able to open the playground?
Yeah, Smriti shared the link.
Okay. Can you share the screen then? Yeah.
Why?
I mean, let everyone follow actually, because I'm not sure if everyone is.
So, but
So
that's what I'm
because they
saying.
are
Gyan.
not
Wait,
familiar with the
Gyan.
playground.
Okay, just open this link and do the code here. Let them give 5 minutes to try it once, and then who is ready will be running the code, showing the code.
Hello, Smriti.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Smriti. Is it just like using the playground? You just wanted to show us hi, the username, and good morning message.
So there will be an input, and here whatever you type will be coming
Hmm.
here along with your name.
Mhm.
I did, Smriti.
Very good. Please share your screen.
Yeah, actually, this is not saving. Once it is done, it is again going
It will
back.
not save in the playground, na, they told.
Mm. Even I just saw the changes, and later when I saw again, all are gone.
Yeah, in playground it won't save. So yeah, Priya, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Can you guys see?
Yes. So can you explain the code to us?
Yes, I will try. 1 second. Okay. So first of all, this greetings is the value that is coming from the JS. Good morning. Okay. And event.target.value. So it will be like, this will not change, right, Smriti? We can't give any value and it will not get updated because here we are giving the greeting value as good morning, right?
Try it. See.
Okay.
So what is happening?
So
If
this is
first
taking
time.
the target. This, okay, I will explain. I got it. So here this greeting is actually this greeting. So which is taking the event.target.value. So event is on change here in HTML. On change here in HTML. So in this search field, if anything is changing, like if any value is changing, like value target, then it is taking that value and saving it in greeting, and then that greeting is taken here. And Priya is the only thing which is hard coded here, and greeting will depend upon what is the information that we are giving here, right?
Okay.
So can we keep empty the greeting, or do you need to provide any value, Priya?
Actually, if uh,
We can, right?
We
We
need
can.
to.
yeah,
So like we are just giving as a default value something like a good morning.
yeah, okay. For the first time, it will be showing good morning, and then we can update it, right? That's what you're saying.
You can keep that empty also.
So it's like a good morning when we are running it without, and when we remove it and then again run it, it will be showing good morning. Okay, so it is first taking greeting good morning, and then this greeting will be updated with any value that we are giving in this search.
If, I mean to say remove on the fourth line good morning and run it once.
Okay, fine. Understood.
Just comment it out.
No, we can't, right? We need the greeting property, right? Because we are using that. Run it. Yeah, you don't have to write equals to and that single quotes as well, I guess. Just semicolon. Exactly. So just wanted to show you that is the default value we are providing. Even if we don't provide that, it
Got it.
as well fine.
Yeah, got it. Because every time when we were running and the good morning was auto populated there, that means that is the default value set for greeting, right?
Exactly.
Since we
Yes.
did good morning, but it will be taking the target value that we feed here in this field, right?
So can you tell about the event.target.value? So can you do the console log about event.target and show? You remember the way Shitachi showed last time? Can you show that? What is coming in event.target?
Yeah, I will try.
Right click
Right click where?
on this page.
Okay.
Again, console log is not there right now.
Right, that's what we are trying to bring. Right? I mean, you can click on after the playground somewhere. Oh, you are trying to print that value. Without
Can
that,
we?
can't we see? Oh, okay. Smriti, I got it. What you're trying.
Yes, and now 1 second. Both of you are speaking. 1 second. First of all, you have to put the console log inside line number 3 to line number 9. Okay, and that should be inside this method, correct?
Yeah.
First of all, and then second thing is, again, without putting console log, what it will show in the inspect. Okay, so yeah, try to show that what it is showing in the target by doing console.log and event.target inside the method.
After 7th line. That after 7th line.
Yeah, hit enter on 7th line. Yeah.
Yep. Yes. First write something like single quotes and then.
I mean, we can put this. No.
Yeah, just put event.target. That's it.
Okay.
And then before that, go before event.target.
Okay.
Yeah, here put what we say. Jan, what we say that?
Statement like in single quotes.
Single quote. Put single quote.
Okay.
No. Oh, okay.
सिंगल कोट ठीक है उसके बाद कुछ लिखो I mean write something like event value target
Value is equals to, yeah, anything.
event value anything like whatever, like this is like system.debug.
Okay. Yeah. In JavaScript.
Yeah. Why
Not
we have equals to?
put comma. And then yeah, semicolon. And then and then do the run. And then put something in the greeting.
Yeah.
And now check the 10th line. Go to 10. Go to number that. Click on that. Right side. 10 is coming. Bottom right. 10 is coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Go up.
Priya, in console.log, enter event.target.value. The whole thing, not just event.target, event.target.value. Yeah. Now run it and keep the everything working.
Try to put some value, Priya.
In the greetings, yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. What I wanted to show with only event or target, if you remove once, yeah. Do inspect element actually. Do right click.
Yeah.
Remember last time the way he showed?
Yes.
Remember Gyan, right? Go to console.
Yeah.
Console. Click on console.
Yeah, I clicked. It did not.
Okay, one more time.
Yeah, just clear everything.
So that stop symbol is there, right? Beside left to the preview edit under the console. Exactly. Click on that's the clear. Yeah.
Now type something. Okay. So that even the target is not showing, right, Kian?
No, type something and run, right?
I typed.
Typed it.
Okay, open this. Try to open it. That particular arrow.
Yeah, click on that one more arrow. Control SLDS. Click on run. Let's see. I'm not sure if.
Okay, ignore that. We will show you that later. That is not coming here. But basically, what should ideally happen once we are doing in the browser? So you remember Priya last time what he showed, that once we put event or target, and then we are able to see that what is exactly there in the event or target, and in
Yes,
that
yes.
the value also is there, so it shows value also.
But here that is coming after putting the value, I think.
Yep.
You can dev tool, browser dev tool. You can close that. Yeah.
So Sarita, are you still there? Okay, she has left. Okay, so is everyone a little bit clear on this?
One thing, Gyan, Smriti, when I'm typing something like good night, when I run it, okay, it is there. So again, when I run it, it is actually refreshing, and it is, since we have not given any default value, it's just making it blank, right?
Right. So if you go to HTML, Priya,
Yeah,
there you see you have used one event on change.
yeah,
That's the name of the event, and that is the standard event,
understood. Yeah.
JavaScript event. Okay.
This
You are
is this is the event that we are giving from here. So the event here is on change. That means when the value in this search box changes, then
that value is passing to that greeting
yes,
property.
yeah, that is clear.
Okay, so guys, today was the first day, and maybe we could have been more slower. So I'm not sure how much you were able to catch up with it. So if you can just let us know, we can reduce the speed from tomorrow and give more time to questions, or are you able to follow? That would be really great for us to know.
Sure, Smriti.
So we will. I will just want to check actually, because not much people were today included, right? So Munmun, what do you think? How like was the speed fast, or were you able to catch up?
No, the speed is good enough. With me, what was happening is I'm not very familiar with the JavaScript syntax, so I think I should go back to W3 schools and just practice some syntax, and then I'll be able to write the JavaScript here. So for me, Googling and understanding, that was a bit of struggle, but I understood the flow and all.
See, Smriti, it's like
Smriti,
the code. 1 minute, Kushak, just a minute.
yeah,
Like it's the code that was there that you shared in that your blog. So from there, if we are seeing this on change and these things, like it will handle change or the event target value, I'm understanding, but I need to know this, like on change page this is happening, or there is any other event, or there is any other standard function. So those things I have to just JavaScript, I think.
And data binding also, it's something like how we pass values from one file to the other and how we handle on change of different events. Those things little I need to have a background, so I'll brush up on that.
Okay, so we will just go ahead, Kushagra.
Smriti, I'm saying that for tomorrow, like what we can do is, I can take a session on the relevant JavaScript that you need in order to learn LWC. So tomorrow we'll discuss the little things in the JavaScript. So like once the base for JavaScript is set, the further we go inside LWC, all of us won't face any problems. But if you want, I can do that.
Yeah,
that
we
will
can.
be a good idea actually.
Let's do that. So guys, if it is difficult for today, just take it that way, that okay, how to set up Scratch, non-Scratch, Visual Studio, and then Playground, how to write basic code. If you are clear, if you have clear with the setup things, this is fine. We will take a pause. We will go a little back. We will see JavaScript tomorrow. again, Kushagra, go in that way that
Yeah.
give something, like say something, give something, let us try, and then you explain seeing us the same
Yeah.
instruction which we are following, but we will just put 2 hours in JavaScript
Okay.
tomorrow instead of going to LWC, and then again we will move back to LWC. So I think
Okay.
that will be helpful to others, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Smriti, fair
one
enough.
more thing. One more thing I added to wanted to add, Smriti. Kushagra, tomorrow that session which you will take for JavaScript, is there any prerequisites or any basic thing that we should go through today, everybody in the group, that will help us to understand tomorrow?
I'll check and I'll like post it in the group if there's anything, or else I'll try to cover it myself.
Mostly,
I don't like. Yeah.
mostly it would be basic. Yeah, like.
Okay.
Kushagra, so actually
Yeah.
you can also share some good links where we can go through. Kushagra, Archit here, you can also share some good
Yeah.
links where we have to go through.
Yeah, sure. I will. I'll just check and I'll update you in the all of you in the. Yeah.
So guys, don't lose hope in case today you were not that clear. Even we were just trying to see that how it works for you all, and because different people have different pace, so we were going to according to that. But tomorrow we will just try to be a little slower in case it's getting difficult for you all, because the main purpose is that we all get it right. So let's see how it goes for tomorrow.
Sure, Smriti.
Okay, just keep on at least practice Java. Don't do LWC. Practice JavaScript a little. He will share the links as well. Otherwise, go to W3 School. That is the best place to learn. Go to W3 School. Practice JavaScript. That will be always helpful.
Yes, Smriti.
Okay, then. I think we are good then. We can end the session.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you all.
Smriti.
Good night.
Okay.
Good day.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good
Thank
night.
you, everyone.